I miss Mama too. That's what I told my 3-year-old son this morning. And everything in our culture tells fathers that's the wrong thing to say. But when he was sitting over there in that corner, whimpering, calling out for her, I had a choice to make. Repeat what my father did with me, or break the cycle. And what I learned changed everything about how I connect with my son. It's Saturday morning. Every other Saturday, my wife works at the flower shop for about 5 hours to start the day, which means it's just me and my son, and our giant Newfie Bubba. Just the boys, you know. And the night before, I tell him about it to sort of hype him up for our day together. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you get to hang out with Dada, I say. And he lights up, pumps his fists in the air. Because when it's just us, the rules are a little different. More TV, more junk food, more guy stuff, right? Chasing each other around, playing with his giant Hot Wheels collection. More freedom to just be wild and silly together, right? So this morning starts exactly like that. My wife is headed out the back door. He waves goodbye to her, and then he does this somersault onto the couch and announces, "It's time to watch some shows." There's this joyousness in his voice, this pure excitement, and it makes me smile because this is what I want. I want him to feel that way when he's with me, you know? And so we settle into our morning, some cartoons, some lawnmowers, the usual rhythm, right? At some point he asks, "Where's Mama?" "She's making flowers," I tell him. "She'll be back later." And he seems fine with that. "Can she bring me back a cake pop?" he follows up excitedly. I smirk and tell him, "I'll put in your order," as I fire off a quick message to her. A few more hours pass. And then he asks again, "Where's Mama?" I give him the same answer, but this time something's different. He walks towards the stairs, looks up like he expects her to walk down on his command. Then he goes over to the corner of the room, sits down, covers his ears a little bit, and starts whimpering. I get down next to him. "What's wrong, buddy?" And he says 3 words that break my heart. "I miss Mama." And when he says that, something happens inside of me. It's like I'm suddenly in 2 places at once. I'm here with my son, but I'm also 8 years old again, packing my suitcase, getting ready to go to my dad's house for the weekend. See, my parents were divorced, and every other weekend we'd leave Mom and go stay with Dad in a different city, different house, different routines. And I never wanted to go. Not because my dad was a bad person or anything, but because I was leaving my mom. And by the end of those weekends, all I wanted was to be back with her. I'd feel exactly what my son is feeling in this moment right now, that ache, that longing, that hole that nothing else can fill. And my dad, he would see that pain in me also, and it would make him so angry. Not at me, I'm sure, but at himself, at his situation, at the fact that he couldn't fix it. He couldn't be what I needed. So he'd retreat into smoking, into eating, into judgment of others. He'd bottle it all up. And that distance between us would just grow wider and wider. And now, sitting here with my son in this corner, I'm caught in this tug of war between my past, the kid who felt this exact pain, and my future, the dad who doesn't want to repeat those mistakes. I want to solve this. I want to be better than my dad was. I want to fill this void for my son. But I can't. I can't be his mother. I can't make her appear. I can't fix what he's feeling. And in that moment, I realized something. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Here's what hit me in that corner. My son doesn't need me to fix his pain. He needs me to be present with it. There's a difference. As fathers and men, we're conditioned to be fixers, problem solvers, providers, protectors. And when our kids are in pain, we want to make it stop, distract them, cheer them up, give them something better to focus on. And especially when mom is the center of their world, when she has that intuition, those rhythms, those rituals that we can't quite replicate. It's easy to feel like we're in some kind of competition, like we need to prove we are just as good, just as necessary. But here's what I learned. We're not supposed to replace mama. We're not supposed to fill that void. We're supposed to be present while they feel it. Because what kids need most isn't someone who can make the hard feelings go away. They need someone who can sit with them in those feelings. Someone who shows them that it's safe to feel, that they're not alone in it. That's the thing that every son needs to hear from his father. Not, don't cry, not, it's okay, let's go do something fun. But this, I miss mama too. So that's what I say. I look at my son sitting in that corner and I say, I miss mama too, buddy. And gradually, something establishes between us. Because I realize that I'm not trying to fix it anymore. I'm not trying to distract him or cheer him up or make him stop feeling what he's feeling. I'm just there, feeling it with him, really. I pull him into a hug, I wrap him up, and I whisper, I miss mama too. She'll be home soon, and I'll be here with you until then. And slowly, he starts to settle. The tears stop, the whimpering fades. And as I'm sitting there rocking him, he starts to squirm in my arms a little bit. And I notice that my hands are right near his underarms, so I give him a little bit of a tickle. He giggles. And suddenly, we're up chasing each other around the room, laughing, back in the present moment, back in the joy of just being together. But here's the thing. That joy didn't come from me distracting him from the pain. It came from me being present with him through the pain. Because when you feel seen in your own struggle, when someone says, I'm here, I feel this too, that's when you can actually move through it. That's when the emotion completes its cycle and you can return to the joy that you experienced earlier. I never got to feel that cycle complete with my own dad. When I felt pain, he felt like a failure, and failure made him angry. And that anger created distance between us. But I'm learning something different. Emotions aren't problems to solve. They're opportunities for connection. And when I can be present with my son's emotions, when I can say that I feel this too, or I understand, I'm not just helping him through a moment. I'm teaching him that his feelings are valid, that he's not alone, that it's safe to be human. And I'm breaking a cycle that's been running in my family for generations. So the next time that your child is in pain, don't ask, how do I fix this? Ask, how can I be present for this? That's where you become the dad that they need you to be. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the hardest emotion for you to sit through when your kid is hurting? And speaking of pain, there's another lesson that I learned from my son that completely transformed the war that I wage with myself internally. It's right over here when you're ready. Thanks for watching.